Breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on primetime, island schools are preparing for the governor to allow for the reopening of schools. Plus, Public Health releases recent COVID-19 data for children under the age of 11. And a woman who embezzled $1 million from her former employer and millions more from friends and family in an inheritance scam is sentenced in district court.
Hafide, good evening, everyone. Guahusi Isaiah Uggan, and thanks for tuning in to Guam's News Leader. Just before news time, the governor's communications director, Cristopalco San Augustine, confirmed that Governor Lou Leon Guerrero will be signing an executive order tonight, allowing schools to resume face-to-face learning effective Monday, September 20th. In anticipation of the reopening of schools, GDOE management presented their plans to the Guam Education Board during a workshop this afternoon. During this afternoon's meeting, Guam Department of Education Deputy Superintendent of Operations Erica Cruz told board members that they're targeting face-to-face instruction to resume on Monday, September 27th, but students will be in scheduled cohorts. Cruz says students could be placed on an ABA cohort schedule, meaning it will cut the number of students on campus in half on any given day. Additionally, students originally enrolled in the online learning model will stay with that module. There's no option for parents who are originally in face-to-face to stay online. According to GDOE's plan, when the number of community cases indicate that it's safe for all students to attend daily, the 5-day-a-week classes will resume. Meanwhile, according to the new executive order, schools must submit a reopening strategy that includes a plan for COVID testing. As for interscholastic sports, although they are authorized to resume training and competition, the executive order mandates that coaches and participants 16 years and older must show proof of vaccination. If they decline, they must submit to weekly testing. Spectators will be allowed to attend but are subject to applicable public health guidance. Public Health has released new COVID-19 data for August through September 13th related to children under the age of 11. According to the latest surveillance report, out of the 3,748 positive cases within the last month, 607 were children 11 and under. The surge among these cases began around August 23rd. In mid-August, the 0 to 11 age group averaged 10 cases per day and has increased most recently to 25 cases a day. Among those cases, 194 reported being exposed in their household and 43 exposed in their community. Most of these cases continue to be Chamorro, followed by Filipino, and are slightly more likely to be asymptomatic. And finally, the data shows that the positive cases tend to be older children, ages 6 to 11. Once again, we invite you to voice your view on our Facebook and Instagram with our daily question, sound off on the issues that matter to you. Today's question was, what format of learning do you think schools should implement to keep your children safe and learning in a pandemic? We'll share some of your responses on the link tomorrow morning. The Guam Department of Education's grab-and-go school meal distribution is set to wrap up tomorrow. GDOE Interim Public Information Officer Michelle Franquez said that the decision to stop distributions of the free school meals was made to allow the food vendor to prepare for the return of students in anticipation of schools reopening soon.
Well, it's just very simple. There is, our Dededo teams are returning to their respective schools just to complete preparation for the potential reopening for schools.
The potential school reopening date for GDOE schools was announced this afternoon as Monday, September 27th. Vaccinations and COVID testing are still underway as the surge continues. Guam Army National Guard Public Affairs Officer Captain Mark Scott did say that due to a low number of appointments today at the UOG Cabo Fieldhouse, the COVID-19 vaccination clinic was closed, but that residents were still able to go to Micronesia Mall Clinic as a walk-in. He also provided a status update on what the Guard is currently undertaking.
We're seeing a pretty consistent flow, a steady flow of about 350 to 400 a day. So we're encouraged by those numbers, and we continue to encourage people to come out and get their dose, either dose 1 or dose 2. We have the infusion team at GRMC helping administer those monoclonal antibody treatments that you've heard about recently. Of course, our team is in Tizan doing swabbing and traffic control at the testing site. And we can't forget we have Task Force SHIELD operating the quarantine facility and the isolation facility, to include the isolation drivers as well, in addition to the JTF 671 headquarters element. So we're still out there doing our thing.
Scott added that they look forward to the help and that the Guard will be ready to aid FEMA in any way they can. In the meantime, Scott adds to make a vaccination appointment at the UOG Fieldhouse Vaccination Clinic, go to tinyurl.com/vaxguam. She's not a victim, but a victimizer. Those were the words used by an assistant U.S. attorney to describe Teresa Adames Pareto. She was sentenced in the District Court of Guam this morning in 2 separate cases involving embezzlement and fraud.
Tearfully addressing the court, Teresa Adames Pareto said that in humility and brokenness, I am sorry. She apologized to her friends and family, to her church family at St. Paul's Church, and to the family of her former employer, Dr. Robert Gatewood. Pareto sentenced this morning for being an accomplice in bilking millions of dollars from friends and family as part of an inheritance scam. She was also sentenced in another case for embezzling more than $1 million from her former boss between 2011 and 2019. During the hearing, Dr. Gatewood saying, I felt she stabbed me in the back and pierced me through my heart. I felt betrayed. Public Defender Brianna Kotke asking the judge for leniency, pointing out Pareto's cooperation and the disparity in sentences in other jurisdictions as compared to her clients. Pareto asking for mercy. I have made some mistakes. I can't change, but I have changed so that I don't make the same mistakes. However, Assistant U.S. Attorney Maravik David asking the court to see the defendant not as a victim, but as a victimizer and a serial fraudster. In Dr. Gatewood's case, Pareto wrote a total of 284 fraudulent checks, getting away with over $1.1 million. In the case involving the inheritance scam, she was involved with fleecing at least 36 island residents out of $2.5 million. One of those victims was Nanette Senor. Senor, a caregiver for her elderly father and a disabled brother. She said she believed she was an easy target for Pareto. She told the court that when Pareto approached her about the inheritance scam in 2019, I was thinking, gosh, I never asked for anything. I wonder if this is God's way of rewarding me for the things I've done to help my family. But when she found out about the scam, she said she felt so stupid and wondered what she did in her life to deserve this. Just before sentencing, District Court Judge John Connor said this case is stunningly distinct in the length of the embezzlement of Dr. Gatewood, the abuse of the trust and friendship that was involved, and then to turn to family and friends, not just a few times, but dozens of times, and using religion to persuade people to give up hard-earned money when it had to be obvious. There's no question she knew this was a fraud because she became an active participant. Judge Connor sentenced Pareto to 8 years for the case involving the inheritance scam and 5 years for the embezzlement case involving her former employer. Both sentences are to run concurrently. She must also pay a total of $3 million in restitution for the victims in both cases. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
The local FBI office helped investigate the case. We spoke exclusively with the special agent in charge of the regional office, Stephen Murrill, who says the pandemic has spurred more of these types of global internet scams.
Special Agent Merrill declined to discuss the specifics of the case, but in general, he says scammers are constantly on the lookout for unwitting victims.
And of course, in these COVID times, a lot of people are out of work and a lot of people are looking for financial opportunities. So the criminals in this case offered up some lucrative returns on investment, if you will, and that victims entered into this agreement with the hope of getting money back, but unfortunately the victims lost their funds as a result of the scheme.
He says the scammers are more successful if they can recruit accomplices on the ground.
A lot of times these criminals will enable local citizens to help them in this effort, and what this highlights again is that when a potential victim sees someone not just online who they don't know, but someone they actually know personally, and that person comes to them with an offer, that it is much more believable scheme than seeing some random person anonymously on the internet.
While local accomplices are more easily prosecuted, Merrill says the FBI also has the global resources to go after the big fish.
We're looking for the people that are organizing these schemes and are potentially victimizing people all over the world, including in Guam. So yes, our goal is to target these kingpins and hopefully, with the help of the United States Attorney's Office, charge these people with crimes And if we're able to do that, arrest them and make sure that the justice is served. It's incumbent upon the victims to notify us as soon as possible so that we can start those efforts. We have great relationships with the banks around the world, and they also don't want to see their clients robbed of their own money. The FBI will act as soon as we get any complaint about these frauds, but I'm more concerned about making sure that people don't give the money so we don't have to open these cases.
And Merrill agrees with that old adage, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
My name is Cecile Olandez. I am a University of Guam women's basketball coach and a Government of Guam employee. I'm happy that Select Care is back with GovGuam. They were the first to offer the health wellness program and incentives such as the free gym memberships. For me, what's important is living a healthy lifestyle and staying active. So going to the gym and being rewarded as a member helps me to perform and train to my best abilities. It's an easy choice.
GovGuam employees and retirees. Enroll now.
And instant prizes from Foot Locker and Burger King. Win the best-selling 2021 Toyota Corolla LE, the crossover SUV 2021 Toyota RAV4 LE, and the dynamic luxury SUV 2021 BMW X1. The more you shop, the more chance to win. In the Micronesia Malls, shop and win.
Hi, my name is Justine Chu.
Jim Pamplona.
Alexis Sablon. I'm Minami Kramer, and I'm a GTA youth leader.
Because of GTA, I was able to go to Interlaken, a summer music camp over the summer, and I'm very, very grateful for that opportunity.
It helped me pay for my college tuition with a scholarship.
Benefits, including a free phone and a year free service.
If you're someone who wants to inspire others, help others, and become a better person, this is for you.
Become a GTA youth leader today.
When making the new Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich, people asked how I felt about burger places selling fried chicken. I'd say that's none of my business, just like making fried chicken is none of theirs. Get the new Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. Yesterday, we broke the story about an early morning shooting in Dededo. KUAM's Tyler Matsunani takes us back to the scene and talks with the owner of Dave's Beauty and Barbershop in Dededo, who says he was in fear for his life.
Early Wednesday morning, officers from the Guam Police Department responded to a shooting at a local barbershop in Dededo. We spoke with the owner, Dave Cadavas, who walked us through the moments where he was faced with life or death.
I heard it's like a big bomb over here, maybe the broken glass.
Cadavas and his wife live behind the shop. He says that it was at that moment that he was prompted to get his gun. When he returned, the intruder had made his way from the front door near the register to just a short distance away in front of Cadavas.
I asked, who are you? He told me about you.
He couldn't see his face,
to me.
But what he could see was a male figure holding a long object, which was later found to be a metal pole.
It's his big body.
Cadavas explained how he told the man to stop where he was, but he didn't listen.
But he's still coming to me, approaching me.
He then fired a single shot to the chest.
He wake up and he said, oh, help me. And then he told me, I'm sorry what I'm done. I'm sorry for your family. So I responded, okay, don't worry. We already called 911, the police, and the ambulance is coming right away.
A busted light and a smashed glass door are left as reminders of the break-in that occurred at Dave's Beauty and Barbershop.
If I didn't shoot him, maybe I'm the one died. I'm sorry for his family. I did not intention to do that, so I pray he's still alive.
The man remains in stable condition. GPD says this is an ongoing investigation. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matsunani.
Justin Michael Duenas was magistrate in the Superior Court today. Judge Jonathan Kwan noted Duenas has a warrant of arrest for failing to appear in another case and is on probation for 2 other cases. He set cash bail at $100,000. The judge also ordered Duenas to have no contact with the victims as well as Jensen DeVellis. Duenas and DeVellis were recently arrested for attempted murder and aggravated assault for a shooting that occurred last month at a home along Tranquillo Court. Although the 2 are separately charged, it was indicated during today's hearing that their cases could be combined. The case is going before a grand jury on Friday. Drug defendant Andrew Manabusan was allowed to be released from detention. Some of the conditions of his release included prohibition of possessing a firearm, drugs, and alcohol. He also must submit to drug testing and comply with a 7 p.m. curfew. The 37-year-old was picked up in California in June, where he allegedly mailed a package containing more than 3,600 gross grams of meth to Guam. The person busted for receiving that package was former police officer and former DOC officer Jose Ananich. His case was sealed. Manabusan, in the meantime, is scheduled to go to trial in October. A retired pilot that was stationed on Guam 8 years ago was sentenced to life in prison for sexually abusing a child for years. According to Navy's time retired Lieutenant Commander Ronald Zenga, who was a faculty member at the Navy War College before retiring in 2017, pled guilty in federal court to coercion and distributing and possession child pornography. He previously pleaded not guilty to 8 charges. According to an affidavit submitted by a federal agent, Zenga admitted that the sexual abuse began when he was in the U.S. Navy station in Guam and continued until 2 weeks before they searched his home in Rhode Island in 2018. Zenga was assigned to Helicopter Sea Combat Squadron 25 in Guam from 2010 to 2013. The Guam Chamber of Commerce is again calling for an immediate rollback of the business's privilege tax from 5% back to 4%. Chamber President Catherine Castro issued a lengthy statement today basically recapping what she described as a last 18 months for business. The statement describes how the local government has essentially been able to function businesses as usual while it has done little to help the private sector. The chamber points out that the BPT increase passed in 2018 in response to a loss in government revenues from the Trump tax cuts was supposed to be temporary. Governor Lulian Guerrero has stated publicly that she opposes a rollback. The government of Guam's sole source procurement statute is flawed, says one legal expert. Attorney John Thomas Brown testified today on a bill by Senator Sabina Perez to further improve the section. The law allows for a single vendor when an agency director determines they are the only one who can provide the needed service or product. But Brown said along with a lack of competition, transparency, and accountability, there are many other flaws.
No purchase description, no specifications, no statement of the government's needs. All the other methods of source selection that you'll find in the code have those. Not here. There are no price restrictions, no contract terms or performance bond or security demanded by the government. This is just as open-ended as you can possibly get.
Department of Administrator Director Edward Burns says non-competitive contracts such as a sole source are needed on isolated islands such as Guam. He cites an example of suppliers of specialized services who will be needed on a regular basis to maintain the product. He says the federal government has rules that Guam can adopt as well. Senator Perez's bill would limit a sole source contract to 1 year with 4 successive 1-year renewals, but only if there is no other available source each time. A procurement appeal challenging the emergency purchase of golf carts is deep in the rough. In a motion to delay losing bidder, Turfco said it was notified that Chief Procurement Officer Claudia Afaji would be off island for at least 2 months. Afaji's presence is crucial because only she can explain the last-minute changes which the company alleges favor winning vendor AutoSpot. It was revealed another staffer with the General Services Agency who was expected to be called as a witness will be off island once Afaji returns. The record shows that GSA changed procurement specs after working hours the day before submissions were due. It required immediate delivery of golf carts even though the original specs said delivery in 30 days. AutoSpot was the only vendor to indicate on the original RFQ submission that it was able to deliver carts immediately. Parties were unable to agree on a date for the appeal to begin. The status hearing was continued to October 3rd. With a homeless shelter in Mighty at full capacity, GDOE is now proceeding with the opening of a second shelter. Daniel Perez has more.
A second homeless shelter might open as early as a couple of weeks from now. and will be located at the Tamuning Plaza Hotel. GURA Director Ray Tapasnia.
We actually did what we needed to do to comply with the federal regulations. It's now in the hands of the governor's office and GSA. The federal government required flood insurance and was not willing to pay for it. It was not an eligible expense. The governor's office offered to pay for it, and now they're going through the procurement process to make that payment. And once that's done, then hopefully we'll issue a notice to proceed and open the second shelter.
Unlike the first homeless shelter down in Mighty, which is handled by Catholic Social Services, GURA will have complete influence over this new one.
The proposed contractor, in fact, is Catholic Social Service, so it'll be similar. The difference is it'll be, GURA will have complete oversight over this second shelter. We have nothing to do with the first.
With the Mighty shelter at max capacity, many of the homeless population are in dire need of a place to stay. And Tapasnia hopes that the second shelter will provide that need.
Families and individuals. I know there's a wait list. I think there's like 170 in a global dorm with many children. And there's a long wait list after that. CSS will help us determine who would be housed in that particular facility.
But even with the new shelter on the way, it will most likely be full by the opening dates. So, in order to solve that problem, GURA has been handing out housing vouchers to help some of the homeless acquire permanent housing.
We have what we call the emergency housing vouchers, and HUD authorized us to issue 87 of them. And we've already gotten 71 referrals of the 87. So if all of them are eligible for this emergency housing voucher, and these are families and individuals, we like to move them, many of our homeless population, towards more permanent housing.
The 71 referrals are already in the process of being interviewed, and some have even been housed. GURA, along with the CSS and the Guam Homeless Coalition, have been working aggressively to house the 87 families and individuals with vouchers. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Daniel Perez.
After being closed for nearly 10 months, Galleria by DFS Guam is scheduled to reopen tomorrow. The luxury store shut down in March of 2020 along with the rest of the island due to the COVID-19 pandemic. They had only opened in December for Christmas. DFS Vice President Charles Bell said that all employees have been training and preparing safely for the ultimate reopening during the closure. In excitement, Bell shared what residents can expect.
They can expect to have a great time with us because we've prepared the store. We've created new experiences for them. As you can see outside already, we have a great beauty campaign called First Class Beauty. We have invited some local influencers, KOL, in the store to do live stream. We have a lot of gifts, a lot of experiences for them. You can find your favorite beauty brands, your favorite watches and jewelry brands, your favorite luxury brands. Everyone's going to be there.
DFS will be adhering to health and safety guidelines from the Department of Public Health and Social Services. The store's grand reopening is set for 1 p.m. and will wind down at 7 p.m. Sports is up next, and still to come, your Coach Stone Creamery birthday shoutouts.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Half a day. As we look ahead to a brighter tomorrow, Matson's commitment to Guam and Micronesia remains stronger than ever. While the world around us is ever changing, what remains unchanged is our commitment to you, our customers, and the island communities we serve. Shipping is what we do best, and serving our community is at the heart of everything we do. But we don't do it alone. This is why we support organizations that make caring for the people and the environment a top priority. We know that many count on Matson's lifeline services in the Pacific. And that's why we continue to work hard to ensure that our shipments remain on time all the time. Matson recently added another Aloha-class vessel to our schedule. We now have 2 of Matson's largest and fastest ships serving Guam from the U.S. West Coast and Hawaii. With our new state-of-the-art vessels, we stand ready to support the region's economic recovery. Thank you for the privilege of serving you for the last 25 years, and you can count on Matson to be here for the next 25 years and beyond.
Thanks for the Big Mac.
Yeah, thanks for driving. Wait, what are we listening to?
Get it at McDonald's when you get 2 of your faves for just $6.
So you went to Mickey D's and didn't even. Man, that's wrong. What? You're all right.
Get it at McDonald's when you get 2 of your faves for just $6.
100% truck, 100% Jeep. Experience next-level off-roading on your new Jeep Gladiator, the most capable off-road midsize pickup truck crafted for adventure, equipped with best-in-class towing capacity, legendary 4x4 Jeep capability, and backed by Guam's only lifetime powertrain warranty. Drive home in a 2021 Jeep Gladiator today, starting as low as $315 per paycheck during Jeep Adventure Days. Visit CarsPlusGuam.com to get pre-approved online today. Terms and conditions apply. Cars Plus, driven by you.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
The Guam Track and Field Association elected its board of directors for the term 2021 through 2025. Derek Mendel returns as president, and Joseph Taitano retains his role as vice president. Riza Tagadi will serve as the new secretary general, and Gene Tagadi will serve as the new treasurer. Desmond Mendel will continue as the public relations officer of the Federation. Other elected board members include Nishita Beneventi, Michael Herreros, Neil Kranz, Peter Rivera, and Regine Tagadi Watson. The board is also joined by 2 athletes commission representatives, Celine Amparo and Paul DeMolanta. The next 4 years are an exciting time for the sport of track and field, said Derek Mendel, GTFA president. Major international regional championships will be occurring every year until 2025, and Guam athletes will have multiple opportunities to compete. GTFA will work to ensure that they are prepared. Our new board consists of knowledgeable and talented individuals eager to raise the level of competition for track and field on Guam. We look forward to working together to carry out our mission, Mandel added. Guam Track and Field Association is the official national governing body of the sport of track and field on Guam. It is affiliated with the Guam National Olympic Committee, World Athletics, and Oceania Athletics Association. More information can be found at guamtrackandfield.com, facebook.com/guamtrackandfield, and instagram.com/guamtrackandfield. In a move to further enhance Guam's national team preparations for international competition, the GFA Technical Department has begun to utilize AI technology cameras and video analysis software. Thanks to a QC community contribution grant from GDOE and qualifying certificate community contributor Guam Regional Medical City, Guam Football Association was one of many QC community contribution grant program series 4 recipients, with over $10,000 in grant funding used to procure 2 portable AI technology cameras and video analysis software from Sweden-based company Spidio. The Masakata Guam women's national team was first at GFA to utilize the camera system and its cloud-based software to film training matches for coaches to use for video analysis. The ultra-wide 4-angle camera sensor system with built-in audio support covers 180 degrees horizontal and 90 degrees vertical footage, while the cloud-based software allows individual viewing controls, which can be set to either a fixed width to follow the ball in play, similar to most broadcast-type footage, or at a wide angle to include all 20 field players and 1 goalkeeper following the ball's movement, among other types of view. In programming news, Monday, September 20th at 10:20 in the morning, catch some NFL action right here on the stations of KUAM. KUAM TV 8, NBC Sunday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs at Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore looking for their first win of the season, led by Lamar Jackson. The Chiefs will be trying to improve to 2-0 on the year, led by Patrick Mahomes.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
You are everything that matters to me, and I promise to do whatever it takes to keep you healthy, to be comfortable, and to be free. I love you. As long as we're together, I'll always make sure that home will always be our best place to breathe.
You doing okay with those new spicy tiny tacos, Jack?
Yeah, it's funny. Some of those people you see,
They can't handle it at all, right?
Oh, they can.
That's not you.
That's not me. No. Try my new spicy tiny tacos, only at Jack in the Box.
Mobile offers a new and convenient way to fuel your vehicle. Pay gas and go. No need to line up inside the store. Press preset. Enter whole dollar amount without decimals. Press Loyalty ID and enter your mobile number or insert Smiles card. Insert and remove payment card or tap contactless credit card. Begin fueling. And don't forget to grab your receipt. Pay gas and go. It's that easy.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of the birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy September 16th birthday to Jasmine May Salas Opena, who celebrates birthday number 19 this year. We're wishing you the best on your special day, and may all your birthday wishes come true from Grandma and Papa and all your family and friends. Ray Joy Guerrero King, a happy 19th birthday to you as well, Your Highness. Nice. God bless you and wish you many more great birthdays to come. Your family and friends say they love you. Happy birthday, Gianna Tayeno Cruz from your family. Well, they hope you have a fantastic day. And Eddie Sanchez gets birthday love today. Wishing you, honey, dad, and Papa Eddie a special birthday number 55. May God bless you always, and thank you for the support and love you give us. We love you so much, says your family.
Remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. That's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Guahusi Isaiah Uggan. Thanks for watching. Good night and stay safe.